I'd go with Rocky Road. Like double brownie. That's my shit, man. I love chocolate on chocolate. But Rocky Road's pretty bomb, man.
You can't even
That's what
say Rocky Road without smiling.
Rocky Road, dude. I
Look-
get ice cream
look-
way too much, dude. I'm a stoner forever, man. I always got that shit in my freezer.
I have never seen someone look so happy talking about Rocky Road ice cream.
I know, you fucking...
Just
You
covering
can
his
see it in
mouth
your
all
eyes,
shiny.
man.
Shit.
Look at the
Shit.
glee. There's a little shimmer in your eye when you say Rocky Road.
Rocky Road.
Mine's a deep cut. I like Spumoni. Y'all
That's
y'all
a
fuck.
good flavor.
Oh, is that like that Hey Arnold character? Dino
Yeah.
Spumoni?
Yeah, he actually has his own ice cream shop, Spumoni's. It's pretty sick.
I'm a big fan.
What's up, Diego? What you got, man?
Ginger.
Ginger ice cream?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
out of here, man. What?
Fill me in.
Dude,
What is explain yourself?
Yeah.
I love ice cream. Like I really fucking love ice cream. And since I was a kid, my favorite flavors. I'm not like I don't have a real sweet tooth, and so when I do eat sweet things, I like them to be kind of mellow. And Hanson's Farm in Framingham, Massachusetts, they had a ginger ice cream once, and I remember loving it. And I could never really find it anywhere, but when I did, always loved it. Just a little bit of spiciness, still kind of sweet. It was great. I think my favorite's pistachio, so it's like,
Ooh.
things along those lines.
Yeah, man. Okay, I can fuck with
Man.
that, dude.
Pistachio. That's a good choice. Also a rare choice, but I respect it. I really like that.
Damn.
Ralph,
Dude,
you gonna weigh in on this?
no, I'm gonna save my my secrets here.
You're gonna save it for later? Just like
Yeah.
at a random time later? Be like,
Why
oh,
don't
by
you
the way.
Yeah. I'll bring it up somewhere.
Yeah,
Why
by
don't
the
you
way,
tell
my
us your
favorite-
first and third?
My
Yeah.
first is a French vanilla.
What?
My third.
That's bullshit. That's a shitty answer for number one. dude.
Hey. Listen.
Psychopath?
Listen. You don't want to get overwhelmed with like flavors. Sometimes you just
I
want to
do.
fucking chill, dude. You just want to chill. Like number 3, we're talking about moose tracks, dude. Like what's number 2? Probably a little bit over moose tracks. So I
Your
need to
number one's
take it-
vanilla?
Yeah, we gotta take it back a little. We gotta reel it in. So the number 2 and 3 shine.
All right, well, now what's your number 2? Now you gotta explain
Yeah.
yourself. We're gonna go.
We're gonna talk about it later.
I mean, I'm speechless that your number one ice cream, your go-to, if you could only eat one ice cream, is French vanilla.
I'm not speechless. That shit's delicious.
I
think
won't
you guys
ask
are
what
wrong
your
here.
favorite sex position is because I think I know.
Well played. Well played.
I'm not gonna say it.
All right. Well, welcome to the Secret Jocks podcast. I'm Tyler. We got Ralph.
Yo, brothers.
We got Greg.
Hello, y'all.
And we got a special guest with us tonight, Diego from the band Ramona.
Sup.
How y'all
man?
doing?
We're good. How about you, Tyler?
I'm great. I'm living the life, baby.
How's your hotel room?
It's great. I've got a bed. I've got a chair. I've got a little weird lounge chair that I almost podcast from.
Oh, you
Nice.
should have,
Get out
dude.
of the way.
You should be laying down. What are you talking about, dude?
You're right. I'm a professional, baby.
I've learned that
I'm
rule
not
from
laying
2K. You can't lay down when you're playing 2K,
can't.
though. You got to
You
sit
can't
up.
lay down.
You can't.
Same thing. If you're laying down while podcasting, it's not gonna go well. You're gonna get dunked on.
Just
Yeah,
like
I'm not trying to
Greg,
let
just
that
like
happen.
fall asleep midway.
Ooh, dude, that's a bad moment for me. Diego, I've gotten so stoned playing with these motherfuckers that I've fallen asleep and my character's been like running in a corner. It's so stupid.
Or like
dude.
you'll just get the ball and just like stay there for like 5 seconds. I'm like, no, time out.
Oh, dude, that's dumb.
Once in college, my friend and I were like, we're gonna play every song we have on Rock Band, and during college, we like, every time we got drunk, we'd be like, oh, Lady Gaga track back, yeah, let's get that. So we had something like 350 songs or something, and we started at like 3 p.m. We're like, we're not going to sleep until we get through every single song.
Like
I
a
just
passing
remember-
grade or like
We just had to play it. We just
Okay.
had to play. I think we turned
Nice.
no fail mode on at like 5 a.m. because we're like, this is not going well. And so we're like kind of switching off instruments because we're all falling asleep and all that. And I think around 6 a.m., my friend and I got spray bottles. So when we noticed the other person was falling asleep, we just give them a little spray, keep them going.
Dude,
And, I don't think we made it through like 200 songs. It was rough, real rough.
that's impressive though, man.
Yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
songs, dude.
Yo, I don't know if you guys know about Diego, your spaghetti challenge you did a while ago. It was years ago at this point, but you got to fill them in on this shit, man.
So my friends and I have a real intense fantasy football league. It's like my childhood best friends, and it's not for money or anything. We just do random bets and make fun of each other and stuff. One of my friends, Justin, and I, we have a different bet every year, and I win almost every single time against him. Like, I've rarely had to do anything. But the one time, or I've lost like 3 times, but one of the times I've lost is maybe the worst, which is I had to eat spaghetti for every single meal for 21 days. And it was like we had pretty strict rules too. Like, you couldn't be like, I'm going to have a salad with a side of spaghetti. Like, you had to have a spaghetti meal where spaghetti was the main dish for every single meal for 21 days.
Dude.
What did you do for breakfast? Like,
Spaghetti,
did you get
dude.
creative with this? Well, yeah, obviously, but like, did you get creative of like what you would consider a spaghetti?
Yeah. Once when I was, so I brought out like a old recipe once when I was studying abroad, and I just blew through my money way too fast. I had, fuck ton of spaghetti left, and I made what was called a spaghetti pancake. So you boil some spaghetti, you get it nice and cold, let it sit out, blanch it a little bit, and then you throw an egg in there, some spices, and then you put it on a pan and you fry it on each side. So it's almost like bad hash browns.
I'd fuck with it, dude. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that actually
That
sounds
doesn't
kind of
sound
good.
bad at
Yeah.
all, man.
It's like not though. It's like, it's sort of like, it's one of those things where you're like, this is better than I expected. And then if somebody gave you a plate of hash browns, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's what that's supposed to taste like. So a couple times I made like spaghetti pancakes, things like that. But then I just got like real tired of it. I think I only had 3 full spaghetti meals, maybe like 5 times in that 21-day period, because I'd get like headaches by the end of the night and stuff. It's just like, I felt so bad. So my method was I would pound coffee until about, I don't know, 1 p.m., have a small bowl of like spaghetti with, olive oil and like cheese. And then at night I'd have my big bowl of spaghetti.
Did you fuck with like
That's
God
fucking
damn.
overload, dude. Jeez.
Sucked.
Like
Sucked so much.
what was the weirdest condiment you went with? Like, you had to do like spaghetti pancakes and syrup and shit, right?
My friend got pretty pissed at me because I like, so we're like very strict about our rules. Like, he lost one of the bets he lost. He had to go see A Dog's Purpose in theaters 6 times in a row. And he had to do a video review after every single one. And it's like, I'm not there in the theater checking. It's all based on honor, but we've been doing this for over 10 years. So like, the whole thing falls apart if you don't stick to it. But one day he got pretty mad. He said I got too cute with it. I essentially made like a sesame salad using spaghetti, where I use like sesame oil and sesame seeds and some like steamed broccoli and stuff and all that. And apparently that didn't really qualify as a spaghetti meal. That was sort of taking liberties with it. So I was kind of slapped my hand a little bit, told me, steer back towards more standard spaghetti meal.
Damn, dude. Trying to bend the rules, man.
I also tried to use zoodles, but it didn't say spaghetti anywhere on the box, so that was disqualified.
Fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. I have a lot of respect for you, though, homie. That's all I can say. Is I remember when that shit went down, and I was like, "This is the grossest shit I have seen in so long, man." And it was funny, and then I felt bad for you, man.
The weirdest thing is that was 3 weeks of my life, and there's still people who I will be like friends of friends who I'll meet somewhere, and they'll be like, "Wait, are you the person who ate spaghetti every day for 21 days?" And I'm like, "I don't know how you know about this, but I am."
Damn, legend of the spaghetti guy, right?
Yeah, I've had spaghetti maybe twice since then. Can't do it. I'll order angel hair. If I'm at a restaurant and there's like something that looks good as spaghetti, I'll be like, "Can you do angel hair instead?"
That's fair, man. That's fair.
Yep.
Well, damn, that's a fucking spaghetti topic right there, man. Lots of noodles at the beginning of the show.
Yep, this is actually the Secret Chefs podcast now. So
Rocky Road. That's my second favorite. I didn't want to say it
You said
because
that was your third.
no, that's Moose Tracks. I didn't want to say it because Greg said it. I don't want to be like that guy. So
look,
Thanks, Doug.
you were just trying to make
Rocky
Greg
Road.
smile, huh?
yeah, I love Rocky Road, dude.
Good.
Another thing that's gonna make Greg smile is that the NBA is not testing for marijuana this year.
Oh,
Greg,
dude, that's
as
actually
a
really cool, though, man.
It
I'm
is
into
You
that.
did it, Greg. You did it.
you did it.
I did it, dude.
I think-
yeah.
Did you talk to Sean Kemp about this at the dispensary? Is that how this happened?
Little bird in his ear, got it going, went up the fucking totem pole, and boom, Adam Silver knows, and weed is legal in the NBA. I'm into it, though,
on
man.
court too, right?
Yeah, on the
yeah.
court while we're playing.
Ooh, Diego, real quick, all stoner team in the NBA. Who would you do?
Holy shit!
Like players who would be smoking the joint while they're playing.
Players who would be smoking while they're playing. Oh man, it's like obviously hard to leave JR out of that.
Yep.
That's obvious. Ben Wallace, I think. Ben Wallace has got to be up there. We're talking all time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, dude, fucking run with it.
Hey, it's your court, baby.
Yeah.
You gotta put fucking Brandon Ingram on there, man.
Brandon Ingram.
Is he a
Yeah.
weed smoker?
I don't know. His face is funny though, man. He looks high as shit all the time.
I think you gotta go with, Lil Bron. I think he's gonna, when it's all said and done.
Well played, well
Bronny,
played,
dude?
I
well
think-
played.
Yep.
Well
I think
played.
Bronny's gonna make the starting five when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
The
I
greatest
like-
of all time, really.
Yeah, it's like really easy for me to just imagine in sort of like a old man stoner way, Bill Russell just sort of like casually laying the ball up while puffing a joint, not in like a I'm a stoner sort of way, but just like I'm so chill and I can just casually drop 50 while kind of working on a spliff. I think he could do that.
Totally, man.
I don't know how many players I got.
I think you have 5.
I think that was 5.
You got JR.
So it's J.R.
Brandon.
Smith.
No, you
Brandon
can,
Ingram.
you can replace that if you don't want that one.
Dude,
I'll
Sean
leave
Kemp,
Brandon
dude.
Ingram. I can't think of anybody that much better. Sean Kemp's definitely
That's not
there.
a bad one now.
Gary Payton.
Something about Austin Rivers just like kind of screams like it's not in like a way. I don't even know if he likes weed or anything, but he just is such an agitating player that if he were just kind of like coasting up the court with the joint just hanging out of his mouth, it'd be like, this kind of fits a little bit.
Interesting. I thought you were gonna say that Austin Rivers looks like he has a big tapestry hanging up in his bedroom or something. Just like a fucking hookah and then like a
What
lava
the
lamp.
fuck?
I could see that. I could see him having the Bob Marley beads.
Yeah.
Instead of a door, he has like beads.
Yeah.
He just looks like a dorm room and he's a fucking millionaire.
Dude, Kyrie has has 2 rooms that are separated by beads.
Oh, he doesn't have a front door. It's just beads.
He just has bean bags instead of chairs all around his house and shit. I think we kind of skipped over real quick, but Diego, tell us a little bit about how you got into basketball, man, and like a quick little thing about Ramona, man. Just little quick intro on you, dude.
Yeah. So I sing, play guitar in a band called Ramona. I've always been super, super into sports since I was a kid. Um, and I think like I was never the most athletic. Not that I was like terrible, but I think I always took the most joy in being able to outsmart people or just like knowing tendencies and things like that, whether I'm playing basketball or football or anything. So like you've seen Greg, I just love playing defense on basketball. That's my
Yeah, you
shit.
got that.
I take so much joy in that, and just like watching what people do and trying to counter that. So I always loved that as a kid, and that got me into playing sports. But then outside of music, I'm also a data analyst. And back when like Moneyball and everything um, was happening with baseball, I got super into analytics and sports analytics, and I was kind of too young for that boom to know what to do with it in real time. That I think when I got a little bit older and started getting into an actual career of analytics, I saw how the same thing that was happening in baseball is now happening in basketball. And it was like, oh, I get to live this shit in real time. You get to see the Rockets trying out, telling their G League affiliate, just take threes. We want you to take threes within the first 10 seconds of the shot clock every single trip up the floor, and steamrolled their way through the fucking G League and did that for a year before they even brought it up to the Rockets. And like watching that stuff in real time, it just got me hooked. So I've always liked basketball, but I think the past like 7-8 years of just kind of watching analytics explode in basketball and watching like strategies change has been like what kind of kept me going.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Have you guys heard of that Rockets thing at all? I've never heard that shit, man. That's cool.
Yeah, that's actually the first time I heard about that too. I don't follow the G League too much,
except for the Mad Ants, dude. Mad Ants,
the Mad Ants.
Number one fans, dude.
Yeah, I can't say I follow the G League, but I just remember reading about different teams that were doing well back in the day, and reading about how the Rockets were, their G League affiliate was playing at a pace that would be easily the fastest in NBA history if brought up to the NBA, and how they were just like, they put some analysts and their assistant coaches down there, and they're just like, let's see what happens if we literally just take threes and layups. So people who fucking hate the Rockets, and I kind of count myself amongst them, and think it's like a bad brand of basketball, like they piloted that, they tested that, and they knew it worked before they actually brought it to the NBA.
That's fucking tight, man. I had no idea.
Well, okay, question for you then. Do you think, like, we haven't really fully seen like a team like the Rockets win yet? Do you see eventually a team that just shoots threes and only does layups winning the finals at any point? Or do you think it's going to kind of be this, like, in the playoffs, the mid-range comes back to play a little bit more than usual than the regular season? Do you think a team like the Rockets, maybe not them in general, but that style of play, will win a championship?
I think eventually, yes. And I think that's going to look really bad. I don't think that's going to be particularly fun to watch. But I was thinking about this a lot when it came to watching the Rockets kind of flame out the past few years in the playoffs, and then also watching Dame be willing to take half-court shots when it seemed like he just needed to stretch things to their breaking point in order to like even get space for the offense. And then also watching the Celtics like just alternate between, we're just going to brick shot after shot for this game, or we're going to be so afraid to take a three that we're just going to keep taking long twos or driving to the rim and hoping something happens, and realizing like, I think over the course of a season, teams are totally fine letting averages play themselves out. They're totally fine being like, I had a bad shooting night, but I was taking good shots, and in the future, that's going to be a win. And I feel like teams get in their heads during the playoffs They're not willing to do that. And it's just watching a team like the Celtics that during the season had taken so many threes, and that was so like their offense was so predicated around getting those shots, be unwilling to take a three for 6 or 7 minutes at a time, like that's crazy to me. And I think it happens where all these teams are like, we don't want to go on we don't want to go on a cold streak. And if they get a hot streak, it's like Harden will go on a hot streak, or Curry will go on a hot streak, or Clay will go on a hot streak, and they're like, yeah, we're willing to keep taking this. But as a team, until it comes to desperation time, they won't do it. So I almost feel like once a team realizes that, like, you can keep taking those shots in the playoffs, even if they're kind of dumb, like, even if it's like, I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but it feels like there's sort of this narrative of like everything slows down in the playoffs. It becomes one possession at a time, and teams buy into that and they operate their offenses like that. And they're not as willing to just be like, this is any other game. We're just going to keep running and chucking it. So I think once a team does that and realizes that they can do that and wins, then we'll see a lot more teams try that, because it's just like, fuck it, this is what we do. But right now, it's so weird to watch teams like the Rockets try and pretend like they're a 90s basketball team just because they're in the first round of the playoffs.
That's actually a good point, man. Damn. How do you guys feel about that? You two on the left, Tyler and Ralph. Ralph with the fucking starry eyes over there with his
Dude,
light. And his
I was fucking eating chicken wings, dude. Don't fucking call me out. Yeah, dude, just let it fly. I don't know. As long as you have good defense right behind it, just let it fly. To be honest with you, I only love the Golden State Warriors, and that's how basketball should be played. And other teams are just like, not even subpar to me, so I might be biased.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I mean, I personally feel like the game slows down a little bit in the playoffs because it is a 7-game series, right? Like, if a team's like committed to just chucking threes, and then run into the rim, you're able to like adjust your defensive scheme, every game to mess with that. So I think the game becomes a little more like multifaceted in the playoffs because you're playing the same team so many times in a row. So you kind of have to throw, different offensive schemes in order to kind of mix it up and be successful. And I think that's why those teams that operate in those like mid-range areas usually end up winning the championship, because they have that like 3-level scoring, the rim, the mid-range, three. I'd love to see a team like, maybe not the Rockets in general, but I personally love that style of just chucking up a three. Like, and it's because I love Damian Lillard. Seeing the shots from the logo, there's something like explosive about shooting from deep and seeing it go in as a fan. Like, I really like that, and I'd enjoy seeing that happen. But I do think there's enough smart defensive players and coaches in the league to realize what's happening and to adjust and cover that kind of play style. So unless every team adopts that kind of play style, I'm not sure if it's going to be the thing that takes over the playoffs, unless, a ton of teams are really, really good and do that. So that's just my thought.
In terms of deep shots, I think what's really interesting is like, you get to a point in distance on threes where it starts increasing your offensive rebounding percentage. Like, if you take an almost half-court shot, you have something like a 45% chance of getting an offensive rebound, which is way higher than you would normally have at just taking even a corner three. So, but in a weird way, like, I think the most telling thing is when Dame was in an interview, they asked him, like, why don't you take more half-court shots during the regular season? He was like, I don't want to do that to the game. And it's like, I still think that there's a limit on what teams are willing to do in the name of like, this is basketball, that we haven't actually hit. Because if you're actually just going to chuck it from half court, in a real analytical sense, you're giving yourself some advantages that you don't have when you're just taking contested threes right off, the line.
Well,
Interesting.
look at Steph Curry. Like people say he ruined basketball. He made shooting threes like a normal thing. Kids are pulling up from deep, not even knowing fundamentals to get in there. So I think I don't want to say that Dame is being noble by saying that he doesn't want to ruin basketball. Um, but I mean he should.
Yeah, if you're
That it's trending that way, like shoot from deep, like let it fly.
yeah. Yeah, it
Well,
might not be
here's
fun to watch, but if you're good enough, just fucking do it, man. Yeah,
yeah.
you can do
So are
it.
you saying we should put a 4-point line?
No.
No.
No?
Okay.
I don't think so, man.
Oh, we're skipping it because we're going to 5. I got you.
Just there
Yeah.
we go, man.
Easier to count. So come on.
I do think there's a real difference between Steph Curry and Trey in Atlanta, and I think like he's sort of like a disciple of Curry and is seen as like one of the kids who like is now just coming up and just shooting it every single time. But I think it's like he doesn't have. He has good handles, but I don't think he has quite the like playmaking ability that Steph Curry has. And I think that is what people are ultimately afraid of. I think if you ask any team in the league, they're like, if Steph's going to burn us from deep, fine. Like that's what he does, but you can't let him get more than that. And I think like a lot of other people who are coming up who are just chucking every single time, it's like you still got to have a well-rounded game. Like nobody's like Atlanta's going to win the ship because he's going to hit 10 threes a game. But if Curry's hitting 10 threes a game, and then on top of that, his ability to facilitate and just do everything else, like that's totally different.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. Like yeah, you can say that like shooting deep and shooting only 3 ruins the game, but the teams that are most successful have a playmaking ability, or they operate as a team, and if they need to kick it down to the post, they'll kick it down to the post because that makes the most sense in the moment. So yeah, you make a really good point there.
Right, and they're always top 3 in defensive rating on top of that. Atlanta is like in a 0 defense to speak of.
They're doo-doo.
You got to put that on a button so you can it just says doo-doo for you.
That would be
it's just exhausting saying it. So if I could just have a sound clip that I could access at any moment, that'd be preferable.
I think Jimmy Butler would sue you for that.
I would gladly take a lawsuit from him.
That would be
awesome.
You have nothing to lose in that scenario.
Nothing.
Except for everything I own, but
he's like, I want all your coffee beans, and that's it.
That's it.
That's
yeah.
all he'll take.
Yeah, I want all your coffee
He'll just
beans.
say, "You can't drink coffee anymore." That's what I lose in the lawsuit against Jimmy Butler. He takes away my grinder. He takes away my pour over set.
Like your grinder app.
Yeah, my grinder app. Yeah.
Just deactivates it.
That'd be fucked up. Jimmy Butler, man.
So, Diego, the Boston Celtics. I'm assuming that's your team, right?
That's my team.
All right. Well, they
Why?
made some. Yeah. Why?
Why? Just why?
Grew up in Boston, and it's just what I grew up watching. But just that 08 title run, 07, 08 title run, fucking loved it. Growing up watching Paul Pierce and, just knowing that he was the only good player that we fucking had. Like, I watched a lot of great Paul Pierce games. I don't think I saw Celtics win until, in person until that 07, 08 season. I remember talking to my friends about it because I invited them to Celtics Pacers Game 7, and we were so fucking stoked, and we got absolutely smoked. And I remember afterwards talking to them, being like, I feel like I've been to 10 Celtics games in my life, and I've never seen them win, but one of these days they're gonna win, man. So I think obviously I just grew up here and I grew up a Celtics fan, but I will say the more I get into the NBA in general, the less of a Celtics fan I become, and the more I'm just kind of I want to see good basketball, and I want to root for good teams.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
What? Okay, so you've been to a bunch of Celtics games. What do you think the best game that you've ever been to was?
Oh man, best game I've ever been to was actually probably in just anybody, like Celtics game or any game.
Yeah. Let's say Celtics game at the
Best
Garden.
Celtics game I've ever been to. Let's see.
Was that the one where Paul Pierce pooped his pants on the floor?
As he crossed the finish line, yeah, he shit himself.
You know what? Good for him.
Yeah. Went to see Sixers Celtics for Christmas with my family last year, and that was pretty awesome. Just because, like, so my mom, her favorite sport's basketball. We used to play a lot growing up, and she used to destroy me. She was much better than I was.
I'd say.
So that's also probably where my love of basketball comes from. But Latinos not super big on Christmas Day. It's like a Christmas Eve thing is where you celebrate big. So, we saw all the family and did all the stuff, but then the next day we always get Chinese food and go to the movies. So I decided to switch it up. I was living in Philly, so I was coming up for the week, and I was like, let me see if I can get some tickets. And so I ended up getting tickets for, my whole family, and there was like 6 of us who went to the game, and like it was just sort of this like there's a new potential tradition on the horizon. Like we could just go watch basketball every year for Christmas if Boston's in it. So that was probably my favorite game. Is just like being also it's the nicest Boston crowd I've ever been a part of because it's Christmas and like anybody starts getting annoyed at anything, they're just like, ah, fuck, it's Christmas.
That's awesome.
I love that. Everyone's polite.
Yeah, totally. Like one guy, I just like there was this father and son sitting behind us, both wearing like Simmons and Embiid jerseys. And the guy who was sitting next to me was just like, any other day I'd probably be giving you some shit right now for sitting in this section wearing that jersey, but I hope you enjoy your fucking Christmas. I was like,
that's awesome. Actually.
That's sick.
I love that. That's the base level of nice in Boston.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I know, dude.
Any other day.
Yep. Christ was born today, so we're gonna give you a pass. But
fuck it.
Fuck it. You know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's right, dude.
I think best game period I've ever been to is I was at the Bucks Sixers windmill game with Embiid and Giannis just fucking like almost getting double ejections going at it.
Oh shit!
Ooh,
that
that's
game
awesome.
was amazing. It was a friend's bachelor party, and that was really sick. And also talk about like friendliness in basketball. I got a call a week after the game from Bucks, like customer relations, and it was just the sweetest woman I've ever spoken to in my life, being like, we just wanted to make sure you had a fun time at the game. Like, what did you think of the facilities? Or like, it was really nice. like she's like, did the Bucks win? And I was like, yeah, they did. I'm actually a Celtics fan, but like it was really nice. She's like, well, hopefully the Celtics do well this year, but I hope the Bucks just do a little bit better. And I'm like, how are you an actual official for this team, and why are you calling me?
Well, dude, they're doing that. They're doing that because Giannis is going to leave, and they're going to lose all their fan base, man. They got to keep
real.
some people there. They're like, please, can you 5 stars on Google, please?
That's what Giannis looks at.
Yeah.
It looks like Yelp reviews and like, should I stay? Nope, that's only a 2-star.
Also, best fun fact of the game is we all stood by the railing trying to get a high five from any player, and the fucking only player who actually like waved to fans and gave a high five was Boban, who was on the Sixers at the time.
Yeah.
Dude.
Great.
Yeah, that checks out for sure.
Yep.
Love it, dude.
The John Wick guy?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Keanu himself.
God
That's so cool.
damn.
They let him play basketball too, man. He can really do everything.
He's a method actor.
Diego.
One thing. Oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
Nope.
Greg, I've been talking, so you talk.
I feel like I've
I'm
been
go-
talking.
Well, I'm gonna
This
jump
is
in
your
here.
episode, Diego.
Yeah, dude, this is
Yeah,
about
this is
you,
the
man.
Diego episode.
Well, Diego, I gotta pass one more question to you. How do you feel about those fucking shitty Boston Celtics jerseys that came out this year?
Okay. I gotta be honest. I'm so stoked on them because
Damn,
our
okay.
last 2 City Edition jerseys have been fucking horrible. The one 2 years ago looked like a Goodyear ad on a jersey. Like it just has this like they made a gray parquet, but it just like it looked like tire tracks, which is just not the image you want for a jersey. And then the one last year, it looks medieval. Like it looked like if they like let J.R.R. Tolkien design our jerseys for the year. You gotta look them up. They look fucking terrible. It's like old English style with this like weird sort of bronzy color that's never been in our color scheme.
Yeah,
So-
it looks like someone who isn't Irish, who says they're Irish, designed a jersey.
Oh, I see. Whoa, dude, that's like Magic the Gathering shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, exactly. So the bar was really low, and now it just looks like one of the championship banners, and I'm like, that's sick. I'm all about it. My friend sent me the hat that just says Boston Celtics on it, and I'm like, it looks like the knockoff hats that you see at 7-Eleven all over Massachusetts, but that's such a step forward that I'm all about it.
For a hat, I think it's pretty sick, man. For a jersey, it just looks like something from PE class, man.
Yeah.
Did you look at last year's?
I don't. Okay, so
If there's a way to make
Hey,
7 foot tall
look it
people
up.
look 5'2", it's in that jersey.
they're wearing like an extra tall tee and shit on the court.
I got you, Greg.
What's that? We're all staring up at Miami. That's all that's happening anyway.
No, man.
Dude, Miami.
Did you see the jacket, man? It's insane.
It's so sick.
The jacket or the jersey? Is that what you're talking about? Or?
They released an accompanying like champion jacket. and it
Oh
looks
shit! No, I haven't seen
fucking
it.
Amazing with the like Miami water and skyline on the back. It's stupid.
Damn. Yeah, someone shoot me that fucking shit so I can look at it.
I
real
got
quick.
it. Give me 1 second here, buddy.
Dude, the jerseys for Miami are awesome though, man. The gradient looking shit.
All right.
Yeah, I really like that.
So
It's
dope,
super
man.
nice.
All right.
Promo
Check this
code
out.
Secret
Check this
Jocks.
Wow.
Dude,
That's rough.
out.
You know what? I changed my mind. I
awesome.
love the jersey now. If you're not watching the YouTube video, Ralph has pulled up a very amazing picture of Jaylen Brown in last year's Boston City Edition jersey, and he's just staring at you. His eyes are very
follow you.
they're-
This is Dorian Gray, man.
piercing.
They'll follow you.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like those paintings. No matter what angle you move at, it
Mhm.
makes eye contact with you. This is incredible.
I would put him on my stoner team for sure.
Damn, dude.
It looks like he either wants to make love to you or he's like, "You gonna finish that?" You know?
I feel like he's like one.
Could go either way.
I feel like he's the type of dude to like puff and then like fake hold it in and then like blow it out before he actually like inhales it. You know, he
Mm.
seems like one of those kind of dudes.
A poser.
Yeah, I could see
is what
that.
I'm saying.
I don't know if
So you're calling him a poser.
A
He wants
poser.
to hang
Come
out.
on, Greg.
I just feel like he wants to hang out with the older kids. That's all.
There it is. Greg Hughes said Jaylen Brown is a poser.
Yup, that's
He's
a
a
Greg
He's
Greg
a
hot
fucking
take.
poser, dude. Dude, on this note about hot takes that are crazy as shit, dude. I was watching the video of fucking Stephen A. Smith and LeVar. The interview where LeVar says that he could beat MJ 1-on-1. Dude, I was cry laughing at that shit, man. His facial expressions are the funniest thing, man.
He's a big
Oh, dude.
baller, man.
I love that he can say that on TV and just straight face it and like
Well, he
good.
believes it, man. I truly feel like he believes that he could beat MJ one-on-one. Like, that dude has so much confidence. Whether he has the talent to back it up, I don't know. But yeah, he's very confident, and I think he believes that he could beat him, no problem.
I'm like weirdly proud of Lonzo for getting out under LeVar's thumb. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, Lonzo's had for only being in his fourth year in the NBA, third, yeah. He's had kind of a crazy ride already, and like the fact that when he came into the league, we knew him for his dad more than we did for him, which is crazy because his dad didn't even fucking play in the NBA. That's nuts.
Mhm.
And that's what we knew more of, and it's almost like Lonzo kind of feels like a rookie now. Kind of feels like we're he seems like he's obviously established in his like talent, but he seems sort of raw and like, oh, he can do whatever he wants now. He can actually just be an NBA player. Like, there's no sideshow involved, which I'm like, good for you, man. Because I kind of, it's like I kind of thought that would haunt him throughout his career.
Mm-hmm.
LeVar just moved on to a different kid, really.
Who do you think is going to be the best ball brother, Ralph? Like, at the end of all of this, who do you have? You got Jello, Mello, or Lonzo?
Who? Did you just say Mello?
Sorry.
Yellow Mellow?
Whoa.
Yellow Mello Anthony. Sorry, man. I'm just going off Instagram tags.
Yeah, you did say Mellow, dude. You had we had a whole
fuck,
episode
dude?
about you fucking
know.
saying that there's only one Mellow.
Yeah, who do you think is going to be better? Carmelo, Mello Anthony, Lonzo Ball, or Jello Ball? You got to pick out of the three. Who has the better career?
I would go LaMelo for sure.
You think LaMelo is going to be the best?
Yeah, he's put on the spotlight, and dude, he's cocky just like his dad. I feel like he's gonna do something really cool and significant in Charlotte. Yeah, as for Jello, he's super quiet. And as Diego mentioned, like, it seems like Lonzo is just like a thing of the past now. Like, kind of like a rookie, I guess. No one knows about him, or everyone knows about him, but no one cares.
I care about Lonzo still.
Well, he's a nice guy. What about you, Greg? Who do you think will be the best ball brother?
I think LaMelo. I think LaMelo is totally gonna be it. But if Lonzo,
that's the Rocky Road connection right there.
But if Lonzo can get those fucking like alley oops down with Zion, and he's just a pass first person, that would be badass, dude. Because his highlight reel with passing is fucking awesome, man. All right, Diego, I see you fucking drop something in this fucking thing. Oh, dude,
that jacket. Oh, the back.
Look,
I got it, boys.
Miami
I got it,
jacket.
boys.
Yeah, those colors, dope, man.
Dang.
I fucking hate that Miami's so much cooler than Orlando, guys. Pissed me off.
Yeah, okay, Greg, what would the Orlando champion jacket look like?
Dude, it's gonna be a fucking Disney World fucking jacket or something. It's gonna be like Mickey Mouse spinning like a fucking ball on his finger or something.
Oh boy!
Actually, that sounds sick. That sounds sick as fuck. I would
be,
definitely wear that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be sick if it was vintage, but it's gonna be like 2020 and all. Mickey Mouse. I don't know, man. I hope it's cool. It could be cool. No, they make it cool. I'm fucking backtracking. They'd make it cool, but.
Okay, lock it in right now. Is Orlando cool or not?
I'm a fan. So
Dude, I was mid-drink.
Cool. I'm going cool.
All right. Here's Greg's take. Orlando is cool.
Wow.
That's another edition of Greg's
Man,
take.
It just hurts that Miami is so much cooler though as a team. That one hurts. Fuck.
But like, also, like, that's the coolest team in the league, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like,
sick,
by far. So I
All
mean,
four of us locking it in right now.
Yeah, I'm
like
locking that.
I'm with you though.
I think we got to start small. Like, are the Orlando Magic cooler than the Utah Jazz?
Because the
Oh,
Utah
yeah.
is so racist.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going with you.
Those red jerseys are sick though.
The red Utah ones, or
Yeah.
Or are you talking
shit.
about the Denver knockoff red ones?
The Denver knockoff, right?
Yeah, those Denver knockoff ones.
Damn. Did they just? Oh, they didn't just straight like poach a Denver jersey, because that would be kind of sick.
It has like
Denver
the
poached the
rainbow,
Jazz.
and just like jazz.
Just like scratched out.
All the fans in Utah would be so mad.
Oh yeah, that's totally Denver style.
Also, I want to go back and say I think Lonzo at the end of it is going to be the most successful ball brother.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there, Diego. I think
Okay.
he has the most longevity. I think he has the better game to make himself the more successful NBA player.
Yeah, I mean he's huge. He plays great defense. He's an amazing facilitator, and he has a bit of an outside shot. Like, even if it doesn't work out with the Pelicans, I could see him in a few years being like a super Rondo. It's like, Rondo's kind of gone from team to team, chasing rings or just chasing minutes. Like, I think there's no reason why Lonzo couldn't kind of accidentally find himself into 3 rings or so, just like
Totally.
who doesn't want a giant point guard who can facilitate, run your offense, and play good D? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the
point.
Pelicans moved on from Drew Holiday because they had Lonzo. Like, that's kind of nuts. You saw how much they got in exchange. So, like, I believe that the Pelicans are, they're obviously looking towards the future, but I think they believe that they can win now, or at least make some noise now. And if they thought they had a better job to do it with Drew, they would have kept him.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, man. That sounds awesome, actually. Who do they all have now? So they got rid of Drew. Who they get? They got Bledsoe, right? And then who else did they get in that trade?
Did they get George Hill?
Yeah, they got George
They
Hill.
got George Hill. Yeah, that's pretty good though, man. Yeah,
That's a good squad.
yeah. And then it's Ingram, Josh Hart.
Lonzo, Zion. Redick.
Redick is such a good person to have on a team, man.
Yeah, I mean every team could use him.
Every team, for real, man.
I'm kind of shocked that both the Clippers and Philly didn't re-sign him.
Yeah,
Fucked
that's
up,
nuts
dude.
to me. Yeah, Philly definitely fucked up
Mm-hmm.
by letting him walk. Yeah.
Dude, you could do a whole episode on just Philly, but the other day I listed every Philly player. Well, I was talking to my friends, and I listed every Philly player that I liked and thought was a solid role player that has come through that system in the past 4 years, and it's fucking crazy. There's so many good players that have come through there.
Bad, man.
Absolutely wild.
I don't know what it is though. It seems like people don't really like. It's not a landing destination. I just don't think the organization or their coaching, something just doesn't click. Because yeah, people come and go from that place real quick. It feels like.
I think they moved on from Brett Brown too late. And I think Brett Brown's like a decent coach, but I think they just needed to try something new. I think their best chance to win was that year that they had like Dario Saric and Covington and JJ Redick. And man, there was they've Gallinari. No, not Gallinari. What's his name? Something like that with a B.
Bellinelli.
Bellinelli. There we go.
Marco Bellinelli. There you go.
Bellinelli and Boban, like they had such a deep, good team with so many good role players, and I think, I almost feel like after they lost to the Rockets, they should have, or to the Raptors, they should have just been like, that was horrible luck, but let's just try it again with a new coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't run it back
I
after
agree.
that.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
that was the definition of an unlucky bounce.
Mhm.
And and they just kind of let so many people walk in trades. I don't know. That seemed like a really bad mistake to let that happen.
Even if they won that game and they went to the finals and they got stomped, the narrative would have been, they were so close, but now they have a young team, they have cap space, they have a ton of tradable assets. Let's go off and let's get something to push us over, or let's get a little bit more depth, but I think we have what it takes to win. And like instead it was like, well, I guess we've done the best we can do. We got to like break it up again. And it's just every time they've just kind of rejiggered things without actually fixing anything.
Hey, trust the process, okay?
Just imagine though, if they did go to the finals, the Warriors would be, three-peating right now.
You don't think the injuries would have happened?
No, not at all, dude. No, Clay wouldn't have gone up for that dunk. He would just splashed a three in front of Embiid's face or whoever's guarding him at that time.
I'm curious
dude.
I'm curious what you guys think of the Celtics off-season moves.
Yeah, I was gonna bring the same thing to you, man.
Yeah, I knew that was coming at some point, so I was like, let's hear what they gotta say.
Look at you moderating this podcast.
Might be.
No, it's great. So I'm gonna answer first because you had the best move in the draft, in my opinion. Being a University of Oregon guy, my dude, Peyton Pritchard. Honestly, a very solid pickup. I'm very happy for y'all. I think you got a really solid like backup point guard. Like that dude can shoot. He can facilitate. He's a little undersized, but y'all dealt with that with Isaiah Thomas. Like,
yeah,
you know what you're getting into. I think you all made some good moves. I like the Tristan Thompson signing, like letting Cantor go. You get a better defender. Cantor can't really defend. You might lose a little bit of the offensive rebounding, but it is what it is. You got a solid backup center if you choose to do like Daniel Tice as your starter. I mean, I think I don't know, top 3 seed is what I see.
Yeah,
see
definitely.
Boston. I don't know if it pushed the needle enough for them to like get to the finals or yet, but I don't know. Jason Tatum could like pop off. Who knows? Like he could just take another step and push him forward. But I think the Celtics did some good work. They improved a little bit, but
they also got Jeff Teague in the backup point guard position, which is they need. It's a young core. They need someone old in there, and I think Jeff Teague is gonna propel the second unit or even teach some of his sleight of hand tricks to younger PGs. So
true.
I think that's also a good move. He's been in a shitty team most of his career. So I'm kind of glad that he's going to a good team, and hopefully the Celtics don't fuck it up for him. Because Jeff Teague for MVP, baby, lock it in.
Isn't Walker hurt now too, Kemba?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I was stoked about the Jeff Teague signing until I realized that he's probably going to be our starting point guard.
Yeah, that's rough.
Probably at least through like January, and then like they'll start easing Kemba back. And also, very, very concerned about Kemba.
What happened?
I think he's just had kind of a ailing knee for the past few years, and it just seems like it's. Now that he's hitting 30, like it seems like it's just not recovering the way that he wants it to. I mean, you think about the fact that he had the entire off season when we actually signed him, and then he had a few months of play, and then he had extra months off before the bubble, and then during the bubble he barely played until the playoffs, and he still wasn't healthy after he looked amazing, had great burst for about 7 or 8 games, and then he was flat. And it's like that to me seems more of the something is structurally wrong here, like something might just not be the same than the like he's nursing an injury and he just needs time to recover.
Yeah. I've never really seen a whole I'll be honest, I've never seen a game that made me realize or made me think that Kemba Walker was like truly next level. Like he's like super good, but I've just never seen him have that performance where it's like he deserves to be on that level. It's always like just about to be there, but
yeah, and I don't think you will with the Celtics. I think like if you go back and you watch some games in Charlotte, like he's got a lot of those games where it's like man, he's the only thing that's keeping them in this. And I think
totally.
part of what he loves about being in Boston is like he never really has to be that dude unless everything falls flat.
Mhm.
But in general, I'm still kind of one of those people who thinks that the best version of the Celtics had Gordon Hayward healthy, and like Gordon Hayward was functionally our second best point guard. Like he was a super facilitator, but could also score. He was having, by some metrics, a career season. Like I think really, really underrated. I mean, and in our best five lineup, he was our starting center. Like when they would play Smart, Kemba, Jalen, Jason, and Gordon Hayward, like he was the biggest of those bunch at 5'8". He would functionally play center for that. So I do think like Tristan Thompson is one of those things that on paper I get kind of excited about because I'm like, yeah, we needed a center. But then I think about it and I'm like, we destroyed Embiid in the playoffs. Like, how much did we really need a center? Like,
Dude, Tice is awesome, man. Like
Tice is great.
I don't know much about him, but he is sick, man. Like he's a solid center.
I think they just brought in Thompson to teach Tice how to become a center, you know?
How to grow 4 inches.
No, how to like, you know, box
This is
out.
how you do it.
Because Thompson is like a rebounder, you know? He's hungry for those rebounds. And Tice, he can get lost sometimes in the battle under the paint. But the biggest addition, I think, that I like is Evan Turner, dude. Becoming an assistant coach, a development coach for the Celtics, which he had his best years there. So I thought it was pretty funny because he was drafted 2010, I think.
Yeah,
like a decade ago now. Like he's a coach now. Like what?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of sad that Evan Turner didn't turn into more for the Blazers because I kind of thought if you saw how they used him in Boston, it was sort of as this like wacky second unit. He was almost like a second unit point guard and first unit small forward where like it was such an odd fit, but he just kind of made things happen and he hustled on defense and he didn't make mistakes. And so it was like, if you have a system, he can keep things going. And I guess as much as I love the Blazers, they don't have much of a strong offensive system. And so I think he just kind of got... Dude, I love the Blazers. I'd love to be But like, you know, he needed the ball in his hands and you're never, ever, ever going to be like, yeah, Dame, let's go give Evan a fucking try. You know, like it just doesn't make any sense. But I kind of was hoping that he would find a home there.
For sure. I mean, I feel like Evan Turner was good on the Blazers when he was leading that second unit as the point guard, and that's where he really shined. But I agree. I think, you know, especially with the Blazers, like Dame isn't bad off ball if you let Evan Turner just run the point and you set a pick for him. Like you could set a pick for him at the corner and he runs to the logo. He'll shoot that and score it. But
like Evan Turner's just such a strange fucking dude. Like just everything about him. He's like, what, a 6'7" point guard? Like,
I mean, Sean Livingston was that, you know? I mean, he was the prototype that everyone's copying. Just saying.
True.
Yeah.
Without the afro.
But also, I actually do love Evan Turner coming back to the Celtics because I think, like, as much as I loved that like old Crowder and Isaiah Thomas team and all that, like the only real fun part of that team was Evan Turner. And I feel like you need dudes like that just to be fun. The way that like the Patriots always had Gronk, and that was sort of this weird outlier that's like, here's a super serious team, but they got Gronk somehow. I feel like Evan Turner kind of slotted into that role for the Celtics, where like the Celtics, maybe their style of play, I think, can be pretty fun. But in terms of personalities, like they're not a very fun team. Like Marcus Smart's the most intense dude in the fucking league. Like Jaylen Brown is, I think, an extremely intelligent person and all that, but he doesn't scream like a dude I want to get a beer with in a fun way. Jason Tatum is somehow still only 19. Like he seems like a child who's like accidentally really good at basketball. There's nothing really like these dudes are really fucking fun. And I think like Cantor kind of brought a little bit of that I liked having him on there. I think Time Lord did that a little bit. So I think people like Evan Turner being in the locker room, it's like keep things light. It's good.
Yeah, he's definitely a fun dude in the locker room.
There is that video though of Brad Stevens. The whole crowd is just kind of hyping him on to bring Taco Fall into the game.
Taco Fall, like, absolutely.
Like that's a fun ass moment, dude.
Yeah. I think the Celtics need more shit like that. It's this weird thing where like for such a young team with so much potential, the Celtics don't feel fun in the way that you're like, man, I wonder what they're going to do. They feel like a veteran team that's already over the hill that's like, fuck, they missed their window. And then you look at them and you're like, oh yeah, they could win at any point in the next 10 years and that would be reasonable.
Do you think that has anything to do with their jerseys? Like, I don't mean that in such a weird way, but dude, they're all fucking boring and they're like fucking just font and a color, dude. Like, put like, you know what I mean? Like, do a fucking cool ass fucking out there design. Reinvent yourself for a season.
Dude, I think it's just, that's the city, you know? I think that's like, that's Boston to a T is like, you know, well, fucking, we work hard here and we get our shit done. And we act like professionals and like, fuck off, you know? Like, I'd love, in a weird way, I kind of respect the last year's city jerseys because it's like, well, you tried something weird. It fucking looks dumb, but at least you tried something weird. I think go all out. Make the fucking leprechaun everything.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like the Lucky Charms fucker everywhere, dude.
You got fucking green and gold. Those colors look gorgeous together. There's so many things you can fucking do with that, and instead they're just like, we're gonna make this look like a banner, and that's progress.
I'm stoked for your progress, man. Just, you know, if it was a fucking new cool thing, that would just be like a fresh flair, man. Like I think it would be a nice facelift.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen. That would never happen.
I think you're right. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Fuck it.
It would be cool.
I'm just waiting for the Boston Celtics collab with the Dropkick Murphys City Edition jerseys. That's what I'm waiting for.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
Flogging Mollies, man. Something like that.
Isn't Flogging Molly from Chicago though?
Isn't Flogging Molly from like
come on, man.
the United States? Aren't they?
I don't know. They have a 4-leaf clover, right?
Hey, chime off in the comments below.
I thought they were like
Flogging Molly is somewhere else.
I'm going to be the only one fucking popping in the comments real quick, being like, it's definitely in the U.S. Greg is so right now.
Oh, shit. They're from L.A.
Yeah, they're from L.A., yeah.
They formed in Dublin.
No, that's not
formed
true.
in Dublin and moved to L.A.? That's some poser shit.
That's like Ramona shit right there, dude.
Are you sure it's not? We played in Mesa, Arizona once on St. Patrick's Day, and there was nobody at our show because Flogging Molly was playing at Arizona State University, and for some and we found out like the show promoter was like, yeah, like we kind of had an idea this would happen. Like every St. Patrick's Day, Flogging Molly plays Arizona State University, because they have some like super long contract with the city that they'll play there for St. Patrick's Day every fucking year.
Arizona?
Like of all the cities,
So wild.
Arizona, yeah.
What?
Like, yeah, of all the places they could play with a rich Irish culture, they play Tempe, Arizona.
Also, I want to know all these emo kids going to see Flogging Molly, dude.
I mean, are you going to see Flogging Molly, or are you going to see Southtown Lanes on St. Patrick's Day?
I would see Southtown Lanes, dude.
I'm seeing
Flogging Molly.
I didn't play the show Because I was at the Flogging Molly gig.
Oh, you guys play 3-piece. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Sorry, it's like, are you gonna watch us, or are you gonna watch Flogging Molly on St. Patrick's Day? Like, come on.
You come back to the show with all these green beads. It's like, where the fuck have you been, Tyler?
Yeah, my white shirt is stained green from all the green beer I puked up on it.
The Molly's in town, dude. The Molly's in town.
We
Yeah,
played.
very.
Go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say it's a very different meaning on St. Patrick's Day.
It is.
We played a show in Atlanta, and Chris Jericho's band Fozzy was playing next door, opening up for Trapped.
Shut up.
What the
dude.
fuck?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And that was pretty wild. It's also pretty sick seeing Chris Jericho like loading out merch and gear because they're like not quite big enough to have all that shit done for them.
That's a really humbling thing to see.
Yeah, Chris Jericho carrying a bass cab out, just like this shit sucks.
His 8,
just by
but
himself.
he's carrying his 810, like they're hugging it.
Dude,
The walls of Jericho it all the way to the.
He does not move well. Chris Jericho, like every time he moved at all, they would have like lights go off or some like, you know, like sparklers or shit. And I'm like, all of this is distracting from the fact that Chris Jericho has the fucking moves of John McCain right now. Like this dude is stiff as a board.
God damn.
Yeah, it was rough.
You heard it here
That's
first. Diego hates Chris Jericho.
But I love Fozzy.
Love
locking it in.
That same tour, we fucking played a show where Buck Cherry was playing upstairs.
Damn, dude. What was their big song?
Crazy Bitch or
Crazy
Cocaine.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Crazy Bitch. That's a good one, man.
And the way I know that is because literally every band was upstairs watching Buck Cherry play Crazy Bitch by the end.
Yeah,
dude. Absolutely.
I mean, you're not gonna miss that.
No.
Well,
you got this, Tyler.
You go.
I'm gonna bring it back to Trapped real quick. Didn't you motherfuckers see Trapped post this shit like before Trump, the whole presidency? They're like hardcore Trumpers and like just crazy, man. They suck.
Well, okay. I'm not trying to defend Trapped, but it's just the fucking singer.
You're defending Trapped. Okay,
No.
Defend Trapped real quick, dude. Please defend it for me.
Oh, you heard it here first. Tyler loves Trapped.
Okay, Headstrong. That song slaps. Try to tell me it doesn't. I think I had an NHL game and it was like the song that played at the menu.
Just like
Very
slap
good.
shot right at the beginning. Headstrong.
Yo.
Okay.
But I was listening to a podcast that was talking about it, and like apparently like just the vocalist has access to the Twitter, so he's just using it as his like personal shit. And like the manager was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, like I keep telling him to not do this, but he just keeps doing it. But it's fucking nuts, dude. I love watching the train wreck.
Look, we're all in bands. Even in a much, much larger band than any of ours, you're still spending a lot of fucking time together on the road.
True.
So I don't think, if my fucking bassists are in the back just being like, fucking Trump is making this country great, wouldn't just be like, I don't know the password to Twitter. Sorry. Like, fuck that.
That's a fair point.
They just put on their headphones to like not listen to him and just headstrong. We'll take you on.
That's actually the only song that plays in that van.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what I have so much guilt over is before I knew Trapped were like such shitty people. We were on this tour and I bought the band Direct Hit. I bought them all Trapped dog tags because they were $5 each.
Good gift.
And I was like, here you go, guys. And I bought everybody Trapped dog tags. And it was very funny. And then like literally the next day, I feel like they blew up for all these fucking tweets. And I was like, I can't believe I gave them $30. And the thing is, I think about this, I want to say once a month where I'm like, I can't believe I gave Trapped $30 fucking dollars. And I'm still mad about it.
Damn, though.
Should have checked their tweets before I went to the merch booth. That's for any fans out there. Check the tweets of the bands that you like before you buy merch.
It's an unfortunate reality that we have to do that nowadays. But that is a good call, Diego. That'd be really funny though. Pull up to the merch booth, be like, "I'm sorry, real quick. What is your Twitter account?" And then just scrolling through in front of them. Just fucked up.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're canceled. I didn't even realize.
Ooh, I'm gonna need a refund. Well, speaking of touring, we've all done our fair share here. Anyone got the favorite cities that they've ever played in? Let's just say top two. Ralph, you start us off here.
My favorite place is Vancouver.
Washington or BC?
No, BC.
It's awesome. I don't know
Every
fucking
time we
anyone.
play there, dude, everyone knows the lyrics, and it's fucking wild. Just crazy people. Love all of them.
Nice, man.
And I would say, Las Vegas, just because that's my hometown, and playing there always feels good. And with Rejection Pack, people are actually like moshing and singing along. So this time around, I'm like, fuck yeah, this rocks. But past bands, I'm just like, we shouldn't have come here, man. We should just skip it.
Yeah. I've gone on many whole tours that are exactly like that, my dude.
I think you were with us,
yeah.
right, Greg, with Step Brothers? Like, we went to Vegas.
I think so, probably, yeah.
Yeah, we were doing some drugs. So,
Diego, what you got for us?
I'll go Brooklyn, which is surprising because I feel like everything I ever heard was like, don't play New York. Like, New York, it's impossible to get a good show. There's so much competition for good shows. And it's just every time we've played there, it's been amazing. And like to the point where when we put out our album, we're like, well, we got to do a record release show in Brooklyn. And we didn't even really think about Philly, even though we were living there. And that's like where we were from at that point. So I think a really cool scene has emerged there. I always really, really love playing there. I probably would have said Vancouver if it hadn't already been stolen before me, but our first good show ever was in Vancouver, and people just kept showing up every time, and it was just a really like, that was the first time we went somewhere and we're like, oh, it's fun to leave town. It's not just, kind of a crapshoot where you're hoping somebody listens to your band. But outside of that, probably go Chicago. Chicago's always been really, really good to us. We've always had a ton of fun. And like, I love that city so much, but the way that they've embraced the band and that we've always had really fun, good shows there. And it's always just one of those things where I always end up hanging out with people for a long time, and just, it's, the line between like, you came to the show and I know you because you're a friend, and like, you're just a person who came and now you're hanging out. It's always kind of blurred, and I like when that feels natural.
Hell yeah, man. That's what's up, dude. That's what's up.
That is what's up. Can we get a Jared Dudley, what's up, in the chat, baby?
Give me a sec, boys.
Great. Greg, what you got first?
I would say my number one is Corvallis, Oregon, man. I love that spot, man. They're just like a really small town.
You talking Inner Zone?
Dude, yeah, dude, totally, man. I don't know, man.
Shout out Inner Zone.
Yeah, shout out Inner Zone, man. It's just a small town, man. I really like that vibe. Like, living in Seattle, it's a bigger city, so it's really nice and refreshing to just like have a town that's pretty close there. And I don't know. I love it. I love Corvallis. That'd be my spot. Number two would probably be Boise. That'd be what I would say, man. Where Ralph's from and that crew. But if not, I know we don't get off like the fest in Florida. That is the coolest shit. I've only played it twice, but it's like summer camp, man. Yeah. It's like all your friends are around and shit. It's awesome, man. So Diego knows that shit.
Sure do. Although this last fest, I was lazy as fuck. We had been touring nonstop, and I was so fucking burnt out. I saw 4 movies during fest. I
Oh
just kept,
yeah.
I just kept like getting food and going to the movies during the day, and then at night I would like once everybody was kind of like I've been drinking all day and all that. I'm like I'm just getting started. Like go watch some music, hang out with people. It's great.
That's what's up. What movies did you skip your friends' bands to go see?
Terminator, Dark Fate, The Lighthouse.
Ooh, good choice.
And I don't remember the other two because I didn't like them very much, but I really liked The Lighthouse. And Dark Fate was pretty tight.
I do want to see The Lighthouse. That one looks pretty cool.
Ooh, hell
What's
yeah.
up? What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
That's what's up. All right,
Tyler,
well, Tyler, cap it
yeah.
off, dude.
Yeah, I'd love to cap it off. My number one town that I love to play in is Stockton, California.
Ooh.
Okay.
That was
The
that,
Grizzly Roast?
What's that?
Where at?
I don't know. Wherever we get booked. We played like a fuck ton of places there. We played like house shows. We played a couple like coffee shops and stuff like that. It was like the first city that we ever played outside of Eugene. Like we like drove down there and just played like a little dumb emo fest or whatever. But like since the moment we played that, like it's been our second hometown. Chris McClure usually hooks us up, another Warriors fan. So shout out Chris.
Whoop.
But yeah, I don't know. It definitely has always felt like a second hometown, and everyone's always giving us love there, and super cool. Love Stockton. I was gonna say Las Vegas, but that's already taken, and then I was gonna say Boise, and then that was already taken. So then I'm gonna go with Albuquerque. I used to live there. Yeah, I used to live there, and then every tour that we've done, outside of the West Coast, we've always hit Albuquerque, and usually people show up, and also big fans. It just feels like we're friends, when we go there. It's just catching up and shit like that. So big love to Albuquerque. I also want to shout out Cape May, New Jersey.
Okay.
All
right. Okay.
I believe it is the southernmost part of New Jersey. We played there on our last like kind of big tour, and the reason why I want to shout this out is that we played a house show, and like we had never met any of the people there. Like I think we just found it through like one of those DIY pages or like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, and we played there, and like it was basically a house party that we played. So we finished our set, and then one dude is like, "Hey, are you gonna play this song?" And it's from like an old EP, and we don't play that song anymore. And we were touring with like Josh Weibel, and like he was filling in on drums for us at the time. So like he wouldn't have even known this song. And someone was like, "Hey, you gonna play this?" And we said, "No, like our drummer doesn't know this. Sorry." And then someone from the crowd was like, "Oh, I know this song." So we were all drunk enough to be like, "Okay, like." Yeah, if you know the song, we'll give it a try. So the kid like hops on the drums, we play the song, and he like fucking nails it perfectly. And it was like this really insane moment where it's like we're probably the furthest we'd ever been from Oregon, and this kid that we've never met in the southernmost part of New Jersey wants to play drums on this song that we never really even play anymore. And it was like one of the coolest moments of touring ever. So gotta give big love to Cape May, New Jersey.
That's awesome, man.
That is pretty sick, dude.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, is that the first time that sentence has ever been said? You gotta give big love to that town that you just said.
So how much did you pay that guy in advance to learn that song and pretend that he's like
$300? Yeah.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. He was on Fiverr, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was on Fiverr. Yeah. So shout out Fiverr. If you need a plant at the house show, they'll hook it up.
Hell yeah.
Gotta tell you you said Stockton, one of my favorite basketball adjacent stories I've ever heard, which is John Stockton lived in Washington in Spokane, and two of my friends who are from there, they worked at the country club over there, and apparently John Stockton was kind of a dick to one of them, So to get revenge, my friend Matt was like, I'm going to key John Stockton's car. But he didn't know which car was John Stockton's.
Oh,
So
dude.
he keyed every car in the fucking parking lot to get back at John Stockton for being an asshole. Turns
What?
out John Stockton has his own private parking spot in the back of the country club.
Oh my god, dude.
But my friend, to get back at John Stockton, keyed every other member's fucking car who was there that day. And John Stockton was the only person there who did not get fucking keyed.
Damn,
That is
dude.
incredible.
Pretty great.
That's so funny.
Well, I think that wraps up another edition of the Secret Jocks podcast. I want to
Fuck
thank
yeah.
Diego for joining us tonight. Diego, you got
Yeah.
anything you want to plug?
Live music as a concept. Let's hope it returns at some point. But no, if you've never heard of Ramona, you should check it out. You'll probably like it. Maybe. If you don't, I don't care too
These
much.
guys
you.
can't.
If you don't like
Yeah,
it,
if you
fuck
don't-
you, man.
Don't fuck you, man. You got to bring that Boston attitude to this.
Yeah, dude, put it on the jersey, man. That should be the next city year jersey. It's just
Yeah.
fuck you, Boston
Hey,
Celtics.
No,
fuck you.
the jersey says, if you don't like Ramona, fuck you.
Unless it's Christmas.
Unless it's
Of course,
Christmas.
dude,
Then it's okay.
Totally.
Any other day, fuck you. But it's Christmas. Ralph, you got anything you want to plug?
I'm plugging a Ramona song. Diego sent me a file. Panama by
Ooh.
Van Halen by Ramona,
By
which
Ramona.
is these guys can't hear right now, but it's playing underneath what we're talking about.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
And also, check out this Instagram, Stuntmaster G, for the skateboarding content, funny stuff, at Bobby's Orr. That's all I got, man.
Sick, dude. Sick. I plug my Instagram at the end of the show, and you guys fucking are trying to steal my thunder now. This is your guys' thing.
Yeah, it's
So
funny.
Master G, that's my only thing to plug. Secret Jocks is on Twitter, on Instagram. Diego was fucking dope, man. I enjoyed you being on the podcast today, my dude.
Likewise. Please have me back anytime.
Fuck yeah. That's all I got, guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Hit us up on Spotify or Apple if you leave a 5-star review. If we check it, maybe we'll review it and review your review. Okay,
Dude, that's a
we're gonna
power
do
move.
we're gonna do reviews of reviews on this podcast at the end now. So give us a 5-star review if you want a good review of your review.
We need to review Ralph's 5-star review of his own podcast, though.
Yes.
Yep.
Pull it
You're
up
right.
right now. We'll review it right now.
Yeah, I got it. I'm pulling up.
Well, while he's looking that up, Diego, where can people find your music?
It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on Bandcamp, ramonamusic.bandcamp.com. Yeah, it's all over the place. We're on the Facebooks at hey_yo_Ramona. On Twitter. That's the only social media I directly engage with. I don't do too much of the other stuff. So if you ever
Just
see
chime
anything
off.
out there, just talk to me there.
Hell yeah, man.
Tyler, you
All right,
got
well,
it
here's
pulled up, dude?
Yep. Yeah. Here's a 5-star review from the official Spicy Boy. That name may sound familiar. I'm gonna read the review and then I'll give my review of it. Here's the title of the review: Just a few guys being great. ... I can't help but to laugh along with these guys. They're funny, and it goes to show you don't have to know everything. These guys are fantastic.
It's a bat.
It says hat.
I know, it's
Literally.
it's
I'm gonna give it 4
My phone,
stars.
dude.
That review is the review is 4 stars. You couldn't go back. You couldn't autocorrect. You couldn't fix it to that. But I appreciate these guys are fantastic. So that's gonna bump it up to a 4-star review for me. So if you want your review reviewed like the official Spicy Boys was just now, hit us up on Apple. Hit us up on Apple Podcasts. If you have anything you want us to talk about or you just want to shoot the shit, hit us up at secretjocks@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube if you want to watch this and see what we shared on the screen or whatever. Sometimes we do live on Twitch and YouTube. You can find us on any social media outlet. But yeah, this was another edition. So thank you to Diego for joining us, and good night and good luck, baby.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys.
Peace, fellas. Diego, thanks again, homie.
Yeah, totally.